The format of this meeting is a 10-minute speaker, a 10-minute coffee break, and then a main speaker. Tonight, our first speaker is Joe. Help me welcome Joe to the stage.
Hi everyone, my name is Joe. I'm an alcoholic. So my sobriety date is July 13th of 2016. So if I'm fortunate and God willing, I'll be lucky to have 3 years next month, which isn't something I ever thought could be a thing in my life, and I'm really grateful for it, and it's really cool. I'm happy to be here. Thanks, Dan, for asking me to come speak. I'm not up here for long, so I'm going to get right into it. So I started drinking when I was 14 years old, and from the time I started drinking to when I stopped when I was 25, I was always a blackout drinker. I don't know why. I had this weird relationship with alcohol where I guess I felt like I always needed it to get through the world and operate properly. Yeah, I'm also going to talk about drugs because they're part of my life. I did Oxycontin for the first time when I was 16. That eventually progressed to heroin. And then I developed a taste for crack cocaine in my 20s. And that's it, those were my three main things. That was what I did. Really from the time I was 15 to 25. I was physically present for it, but I don't know a lot of what happened. A lot of bad things happened that I'm sure everyone else has experienced. I don't know. I kept suffering a lot of negative consequences from drinking and drug use, but it was still all I wanted to do, so I kept doing it. I dropped out of school. I got a DUI. I ruined a lot of relationships with women in my life, with friends in my life, with my family. I ended up in jail, which I did not care for. And basically I lost kind of everyone and everything that was important to me. So what happened for me that led to me getting sober is through a series of circumstances, I went back to my parents' house after not really speaking to them or being around for a long time. And they were surprised to see me there. They finally, after years of doing whatever I wanted, said, "You're not welcome to stay here anymore, but you can go to Arizona for rehab." And I tried to explain to them that if I went to Arizona for rehab, I was going to have to kill myself. They'd be forcing my hand. But unfortunately, that didn't work out. So at 25 years old, I got on a plane and came to Arizona. And really, I was like a scared little kid. I had no idea what was going on. I didn't know anyone here. And I had no idea what I was going to do. It was just either be homeless in Wisconsin or go to Arizona for rehab. And I came here and I thought, I'll do this for a few weeks or a few months, whatever, and then I'll go back to what I was doing. And I didn't care for treatment. I don't think you're supposed to care for it. It's not like a vacation. I was in it for 7.5 months. But I got through it. And looking back on it, I'm happy that I stayed the entire 7.5 months that I did because I think I needed all of them. And really, treatment, I'm grateful for treatment because it introduced me to this in AA. But when I got out of treatment, it was real life again. And I had to go through some things. I had to live in a hotel for a couple weeks, the Apache Lodge. That sucked, but I stayed sober through that. I went through a terrible breakup with a girl I was dating. And that was super hard for me, but I stayed sober through that. I don't know, just a bunch of stuff, that was hard for me. My grandmother died. I had a job I hated. Things that normal people deal with, but that I didn't think I could ever deal with without drinking. And I don't say that because it's oh, I got through this, look at me. It's I stayed sober because of AA and because I had tools to deal with the things I was going through. Today, for me, I have a job I like. I'm back in school after dropping out, 20 credits shy of graduating when I was younger. I have a dog that I love. I have an apartment, big fat dog, and I'm genuinely like a happy person. Most of the time, I have troubles just like everyone else, but like my dad has troubles, and he doesn't have a problem with alcohol or drugs. I'm able to be there for people in my life. That's a weird one for me. Because people call me looking for advice or like help. Instead of me like clinging on to people and like sucking the life out of them and like being like take care of me all the time. And I've generally like repaired most of the relationships that I ruined with my family and friends and things like that. And it's really cool because I don't know. I thought it was a spot that I've kind of done the damage and my life is over, and it turns out it wasn't. So that's my life today. I like to like have something to talk about whenever I speak or do this, and I was thinking about what I wanted it to be, and I didn't know. But then I remember that this past Monday was 7 years to the day since one of my best friends died of a heroin overdose, and he never like knew about any of this, like AA or like any type of solution. Never went to treatment or rehab or any of that. He overdosed in his car in the city of Milwaukee. He started overdosing. The people he was with just left him in the car, left car in the middle of the road. He died by himself in his car. So, and then it's the weirdest thing because I've been wearing this belt that I have on for the past 2.5 years. I got it in treatment as a hand-me-down. I'm thrifty. The belt still works. Still wear the belt. And I found out at work today that the guy that I got this belt from died of a heroin overdose on Monday of this week. And I guess I say that not because it's like sad, but because it's like the reality of what's going on with all of this. I remember when I went to treatment in Wisconsin for a little bit. I went to this residential facility, and all I did there was push-ups and sit-ups and draw like posters with inspirational phrases on them. That was how I spent my time in rehab. And I remember the guy who ran the place, his name was Dr. Miller, came up to me one day and said, "Hey, you have a disease that's gonna fucking kill you." And I thought I was being like this all-star there, doing a great job. And I got really pissed at him for saying that. I guess looking back on it, though, he was right, because 4 days after I left that place, I started smoking crack again, And after that was when I went to jail facing a felony, and then had to come to Arizona, like move across the country to get sober. I think like AA works if you put the effort into it, And it seems like when people drink here, I think there's like a big tendency to like shun that person for whatever reason. But that's not, I don't think that's what I was taught, and I don't know why it is that way. The book doesn't say that. The book says we're supposed to be of maximum service to other people. It doesn't say we're supposed to be of maximum service to other people, provided they don't relapse, or provided we like them. Yeah, so I guess AA for me is like the reason I'm alive and where I'm at, that I'm able to stand here. I can't put into words, but like working the steps and everything changed my life. And when I came here, I didn't believe in God, and I saw no scenario where I could go the rest of my life without drinking or smoking crack. Honestly, that was the one that really got me. And I wanted to die all the time. But somehow, like, I don't know, I was willing to give it a shot, and somehow I'm like a content person most of the time now. Like almost 3 years removed from a drink. So it's really weird to me to think about. It kind of seems like my life prior to moving to Arizona was like, I don't know, I was someone else or something. But I really believe that if you just put like one foot in front of the other and like try to try to do what you're told. Here, you don't have to drink or like get high if you don't want to. Yeah, that's all I have to say. I'll pass.